Hey guys, it's me again, Jason Gregory, coming at you again from the UK. I'm coming back with you as promised last week with the next training on how to close people into the business. Hopefully the training that you got last week, where I spoke about the core rapport methodology and really being able to develop those relationships with the leads and the prospects and stuff that you're doing, whether that's offline or online. Hopefully that has helped you and you've started to develop those relationships, having better conversations with people, uncovering what the needs, the wants and the don't wants are, which is putting you in a position to now go to the next stage, which is what I'm going to show you today, which is how to move them from being a prospect to actually signing up into your opportunity. So I'm going to go through these 6 closing questions. That's this presentation. So let me just fire up my PowerPoint. Okay, so there we go. How to close people into your business. Now, the most important thing, and this needs to happen whether or not you're doing the core rapport methodology that I spoke about last week, or whether or not you're going through this closing question. You have to have a strong posture. The thing that lets people down the most is their lack of posture. When they want people to sign up so badly or buy a product so badly, they lose all posture. And when you lose posture, you literally hand your power over to the other person. And once the other person's got the power, there's no way you can direct them any longer down the road where you want them to go. So posture is key. You have to be confident enough in your own ability to deliver. You have to be confident enough in your product or your service's ability to deliver. And you have to be confident enough in the company that you're representing in terms of their corporate structure, their vision, their ethics, and all the rest of it. Because all of that added together, coupled with your goals and what it is that you want to achieve, is going to give you the necessary strength you need when talking to people. And when you have the right level of posture, you're not going to let somebody direct you, but you're going to direct them. A quick analogy I'm going to give you. You imagine if you had a toothache and you went to the dentist, and the dentist said to you, okay, you need to sit in the chair, I'm going to inject your gum with this anesthetic, and then we're going to extract that tooth. And you're in serious pain. But you keep on saying to the dentist, no, I don't want you to inject my gum with that anesthetic. I want you to do it this way. And the dentist is saying to you, no. This is the way it has to be done. This is how I've been trained, and this is the way to get you the best results and alleviate the pain that you have. If you keep on being insistent to that dentist to say, no, I want it done this way, I want it done this way, eventually what that dentist is going to say is they're going to say, could you please come out of my chair, because I need to help some other people who are waiting to get their pain relieved. You see, the dentist has enough posture to know that he or she has the ability to alleviate the pain. You just have to let him go through his processes. And if you're not willing to do that, then he has to next you, get you out of his chair so he can get somebody else in who he can help. And that's where we have to be with our attitude in our business. You have to have the level of posture to know that if somebody will not let us help them because of their inability to be taught, their inability to follow directions, their inability to make a decision, and is holding themselves back, and they've blatantly got a pain of lack of finances or lack of whatever your product or service is offering, then we have to have enough posture to say next, and then move on to the next person who will allow you to help them. So posture is key. When you have the right level of posture, you're going to do a lot better in this whole process and what I'm going to show you. So what is the first question? Okay, so you've developed a rapport, you've got them to the stage where they've watched your presentation, yeah? And so if you go through this correctly, then effectively what they will do is they will literally walk themselves into the business. So let's start with the first question. The first question after seeing the presentation is this. So tell me, what did you like about what you saw? Yeah, the reason why you ask them that question is because now they have to speak to you and they have to start talking to you about what they saw. Now, sometimes they can give you a little bit of short-winded answers at this stage. So when they do that, the next question allows them to open themselves up a little bit more. So let's say you ask them the question, what did you like about what they saw? And they said, oh yeah, it sounds good. Sounds like you can make money. And that's all they say. then you have to open them up. So the way you're going to open them up is this. Okay, tell me more about that. Because once you say that, they then have to expand on what they liked about what they saw. And you want them to start telling you. You want them to start recanting the information that they heard and telling you the points that stood out to them. Because the more they're talking and the less you're talking, is the more they're selling themselves and the less you're selling. Yeah, and so that's why you want them. And as they open up and they tell you, and they tell you more, and they really start thinking about the fact that, yeah, it sounded really, really good, and they're telling you all the points because you've opened them up, then you can ask them this question. Yeah, okay, let me ask you a quick question. Do you want to make a little, or do you want to make a lot? Now, the reason why you ask this question is because you need to know their level of motivation. You need to know what is it that they want to achieve. Do they just want to make a couple of hundred extra a month? Or do they want to make a couple of thousand extra, or maybe tens of thousands? It all depends on what the person wants. Because if somebody only wants to make a couple of hundred a month, you're not going to put as much effort into that person as the one who really wants to change their life and make a couple of thousand, a couple of 5, 10, 15,000 or whatever, because that person has got bigger goals, has got bigger desires, and they're more likely to take more action because they have got more things they want to achieve. And so that's what you do. You walk with the people that want to walk, and you run with the people that want to run. And the people that don't start, you leave them alone. Yeah. And so when you ask them that question, do you want to make a little or a lot? And they tell you whatever they say, you say, okay, really, what for? Again, you ask them that question because this is going to open them up even more. Now they have to really start thinking about what is going to happen to them if they are making X, Y, Z. How that's going to change their life, how it's going to change their family's life, how it's going to impact whatever they want to do in the future. And so this is a very strong open-ended question, because as you ask it them, they can't give you a closed answer. They have to continue to think about what they've just saw and continue to start pouring out why they need this thing that they've just said. Yeah. And so once they've done that, and again, remember what I said, the more they're talking is the more they're selling themselves, and the more you're talking is the more you're selling them. But nobody likes to be sold to, so you need to let them talk more than you. Yeah. And you'll be amazed at what they will tell you when you just listen to what they're saying. So once you've asked them that question, the next question you're going to ask them is this. Okay, with what you're currently doing, if nothing completely changes, if nothing changes, continue to do what you're doing. And obviously they've told you what they're doing at the moment. Yeah, you can say, how long do you think it would take you to be in a position to, and then literally whatever they said to you in the previous question, you repeat it back to them. Remember, if you say it, you can be wrong. If they told you, then you can't be wrong. And so whatever they said, so let's say when you asked them in the previous question, they said, what for? And they said, well, I want to have a better lifestyle, I want to go on holiday, I want to do this, I want to do that. And they reeled off this shopping list of what they want. Then in this question, when you ask them, okay, well, with what you're doing now, how long do you think it would take you to be in a position where you can go on the holidays that you want to go on, you can give your family that better lifestyle that you're looking for, and all the things that I mentioned to you, how long would it take you with what you're doing currently right now? Now, this is the question that is really going to get them to start thinking, because most people start thinking about that question and they say, well, you know something, probably the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And so it really hits home the fact to them that they need to do something different. And so once you've done that, now you can do the pre-close. Yeah, this is really important. The pre-close question is this. Okay, if I could show you an entry point into this business that you're completely happy with, would you say you're hungry enough to hit those goals, to get the things that you just told me? Would you say you're hungry enough to get started so I can show you how, by just following some simple processes and being consistent and going for it, that you can actually build your check to the level where you can have the freedom for your family, go on the holidays that you want to go on, and all the things that you just mentioned to me? Would you say you're ready to do that if I could show you an entry point that you're happy with? The moment they say yes to you, then all you need to do is share with them the entry points into the business, and then ask them the question, where do you see yourself coming on board? And whatever they say to you, you just say, okay, welcome on board. I look forward to getting you started. Now, it takes a couple of minutes to just go through the forms. If you're doing it offline, you'll have a form that they can fill in. If you're doing it online, then we can direct them to the site where they're going to put in their details, and you get them started. Yeah. The one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to leave them with the form if you're doing it offline, and you don't want to just send them a link and leave them with the link. Yeah. If they're doing it online, because with every good intention in the world, if you do that, it's not going to happen. Yeah. And so you want to go through the process with them. And as you go through that process with them, you know, as soon as you've come off that phone or as soon as you've left that meeting, you've got somebody on board. And so those are literally the 6 closing questions. Now, if you notice, who was doing the majority of the talking through this process is them. You're just directing them. Yeah, it's just, there's an analogy that I heard ages ago. And it says, if you want to get, sometimes cows can be very stubborn. If you're trying to get a cow into a cart, it can be a nightmare. And if you try to pull them in from the front ways, it's a nightmare. But then if you turn them around and back them in, then it's a lot easier. And that's exactly what these 6 closing questions are doing. They're allowing the person to answer their own questions, sell themselves on the opportunity, and back themselves into your opportunity. And so guys, what I'd say is internalize these 6 questions, master them. Remember that a lot of the information that they give you that is going to help you to close them, you get that information when you're doing the core rapport methodology that I spoke about last week, when you're just getting to know them. Yeah. And then the final step of closing is when you're just implementing the information that they've already told you, and then you've just gone through these 6 closing questions to get them into the business. So hopefully this one made sense. Go over it again if you need to. Share it with your team if you need to share it with them. Yeah, but just really implement it. Remember, the mother of all learning is repetition. So you may go through it a couple of times and mess up a couple of times, but the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. So just continue to do it. Use these 6 closing questions and go and start converting your prospects into business partners and customers. Yeah, so take care, and I will speak to you soon. Bye-bye. Hints and tips on how to generate more leads online for your business, go to www.jasons-networkmarketing-truth.com/frustrated, and you'll get even more hints and tips on how you can generate multiple leads for your business on a daily basis, so that you can be more attractive, so people can actually find you rather than you always hunting people all the time. Remember guys, it's not about how good your product or your service is, it's about how good your marketing is. So guys, go get access to that information, learn what it takes to be attractive, and go and take your business to a whole new level. So well done for getting through this episode, and I will be with you with another episode fairly soon. Take care.